Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel for another video. Now today is not going to be a build video, I'm sorry. I know it's out of my usual video style, however I did want to do a video today kind of wrapping up all the news we got this week regarding update 10, which a lot of people are hoping is going to come on Wednesday the 24th, so only a few days away. We don't know yet if it is going to be Wednesday the 24th or if it's going to be the following Wednesday. I'm going to assume it's going to be a Wednesday, that's kind of my speculation. But it's going to be a week coming soon. I'm hoping it is Wednesday the 24th. So just in case, make sure you get prepared. I am going to post another video in the next few days telling you how to be prepared for the update, things you can do to kind of make sure you're ready and make sure you're prepared for all the new content we're getting in both the base game and the DLC update. But this video today is just going to be wrapping up. It's kind of like a weekly wrap up of everything we've learned this week, what this could mean, our speculation for the update, and what we can look forward to in update 10. So let's get started. So rather than just doing the news we got this week, I'm going to kind of wrap up all the news we've had so far regarding update 10. Now the first bit of news we got was obviously on April Fool's Day. Now on April Fool's, Disney Dreamlight Valley obviously tweeted a picture of kind of like a storefront with a kind of fake scenario that Olaf was selling snowmen in there. We all knew it was an April Fool's kind of joke, because why would we need a store for snowmen? As much as Olaf probably would love that, we knew it probably wasn't a possibility. However, a lot of us speculated what this building was and why would they just make a building design just for an April Fool's joke. It just didn't make sense. So we knew this building would probably be coming in the premium shop or coming with a character. Now I remember when I first saw this, I felt like it would make sense for Daisy to have her own store. Daisy is very much into fashion and things like that, so I was like, how are we going to have another store for her that's not Scrooge's? So my only thing I thought at first was that Scrooge's was only going to be furniture. They were going to kind of change it up, make the whole bottom floor and the whole top floor furniture, and then they were going to move all the clothing over to Daisy's and kind of add in a bunch of new clothing and a lot more going on in there, so you could potentially buy like fabrics and materials in there. I wasn't quite sure. However, we then got the tweet saying, April Fools, we've just gotten word that our previous post wasn't accurate. We're not quite sure what this new building is, but stay tuned for more news. Now, when we first saw this, a lot of people were like, oh, I wonder what it could be. But a lot of people, including myself, saw the banners outside the building with a very interesting logo on it. Now, as soon as I saw this, I was like, surely that's Touch of Magic. Now, a lot of people have been speculating for a long time the ability to kind of trade Touch of Magic items or to kind of see other people's designs, very similar to that of Animal Crossing. If you've played Animal Crossing New Horizons, one of the features I really loved when I did used to play it, when it kind of first released, was being able to see other people's designs, import them into your game and use them in your kind of island and on your clothing and all of that. I loved that element of Animal Crossing. However, the Touch of Magic in Disney Dreamlight Valley has always been kind of basic for me. Like, I do use Touch of Magic every now and then. It does cause a bit of an issue because of Dream Snaps. If Dream Snaps wasn't a thing and wasn't such a big part of the game for me, I probably would use it a lot more and would get a lot more creative with using it in my valley. However, I haven't really, purely because having to constantly take things down for Dream Snaps is a bit of a pain. However, the Touch of Magic tool on clothing I use pretty often. I like to make outfits that are kind of outfits that we don't actually have in the game, outfits for characters. Like, I remember I did one not long ago and I made Alice's dress from Alice in Wonderland, and I still have these on mannequins in my house so I can use them whenever I want. I obviously just cannot use them in Dream Snaps. Now, in a later tweet, which actually was a long time after this, it was all the way on the 16th of April, they kind of left us to speculate for a long time. We did get a tweet from them saying, does anyone else wish they could share their Touch of Magic designs with friends during Valley visits? That kind of summarised for us that this building was probably going to be a way to share Touch of Magic designs. So I'm guessing in here it is going to be very much a kind of storefront where you can go in and you can edit the mannequins that are in there, put your own designs on there, and then when people come and visit, just like they do with Scrooge's, they come in and they can kind of go up to the mannequins and select the ones they want. However, we do not know yet if this is going to cost star coins, if there's going to be some kind of currency we need to use to get people's designs, or if they're going to be completely free. Does the money go to the store and go to whoever's running it, which I'm going to assume is probably Daisy, but how is this going to work? How are we going to get those designs into our valley from other people's? These are the things we do not know yet, so if you have any speculation, let me know down below. I'm assuming it's going to be very similar to Animal Crossing, where you're going to go in, they're going to be on mannequins, you can select the one you want and it will just import it straight into your Touch of Magic kind of panel in your furniture mode or your clothing mode, and it will kind of work like that. But I'm interested to see how exactly this is going to work, as it is a bit of a weird one to think of inside the game. Now, moving on from Touch of Magic, we are going to go to the next teaser we got for the update, which was to do with the Star Path. Now, on the 14th of April, we got a tweet saying, almost done completing your lovely Monsters Star Path duties. Take a break and guess some upcoming Star Path items from the emojis below. Now, this tweet obviously got people really excited. It kind of showed us that the update's coming soon, because usually they do this kind of teaser like a week or two before. So this got a lot of people hyped. Now, when we look at the different emojis, people have so many speculations of what they think it's going to be. I personally thought the first one was going to be a popcorn squirrel companion, which, as you will see after this, I was correct, which I'm kind of proud of myself for. But that was my first kind of guess. The second one, I had no clue what it was. I was like, stars and a car and a dog. My only thought was I'd seen before in like a Toontown shot, a way to like have Pluto in a car. So my only thought was like, what if we get a car that's very like comic style, very Toontown, very bright, and inside there's kind of like a Pluto statue kind of thing. I thought it would just be kind of like a nice statue object to be able to have in the valley. That was my only thought, because I was thinking dog, car, Daisy's coming, which makes me think it's going to be something to do with Mickey and Friends. Dog, Mickey and Friends, Pluto. That was my thought. However, a lot of people since then have actually kind of done this as more of an anagram, and they have taken it as magic carpet because of the stars being magic, car, and then pet for the dog. Now, this is very, very interesting. We will have to see if this is right, but if people have actually managed to get this right, I'll be very, very impressed, because I would never have figured that out. My brain just saw the pictures and went with the obvious. I can't lie. But we will have to see with that one. And then the third one is a pretzel and a man. Now, my thought with this was a pretzel stand, and it just kind of fit with the kind of Disney park theme, the carnival theme. I feel like this just felt very much like a carnival or a theatre. They were my main two guesses, just because of the popcorn and the car and the pretzel. It just made sense. But we still do not know any more yet about the Star Path, what is coming, apart from one thing, which obviously is the popcorn squirrel. Then on April the 15th, obviously we saw our popcorn squirrel. It said, we love seeing your guesses on our X and Facebook post yesterday, and I'm excited to share one of the teasers, the peppy popcorn squirrel arriving in our next Star Path. Are you any closer to guessing what our next Star Path's overarching theme will be? So they obviously gave us this teaser, and they gave us a very short 9-second clip of the squirrel in action. He's very cute. He looks like a really old school kind of theatre squirrel. He looks like the people who would walk around very American style theatres back in the day, and they'd have the trays with either the popcorn or the ice cream on, and they'd go around and kind of serve everyone in the theatre. That is what this really reminds me of, which makes me think the theme is going to be something to do with kind of a theatre or a carnival, and it is going to be very old school. It's going to be going back to kind of like 80s, 90s style, which kind of makes sense for Mickey and Friends and the Toontown theme. Now, after that, we did get the tweet regarding the Touch of Magic, but obviously we've already touched on that. So then after this, on the 17th of April, we got the tweet saying, don't forget to check your mailbox. Expect a regular mail and gifts awaiting you in-game as of update 10 from your favourite Valley villagers. Who do you want to receive mail from first? Now, this is something none of us expected, I don't think. This is something that's coming in the update that we hadn't really asked for and hadn't really been looking for. However, I feel like it's such a good addition. It really fleshes out the game. It makes the characters in your valley a lot more kind of interactive, feel more alive, because once you get your characters to level 10, there's not really much you can do with them. Obviously, you can hang out with them to do certain tasks, and you can give them gifts and stuff like that, but there's no real reward from doing that. However, I do wonder, and my speculation is, the more you talk to the characters and the more you give them gifts and you kind of keep up to date with them and you hang out with them, does that mean your friendship will be more likely to allow them to send you mail? I feel like this would be a really cool feature if that is the way. I don't know if it is going to be that, or if it's going to be you kind of just all randomly get a piece of mail from any villager that you have unlocked, which I guess would be an easier way for them to do it. However, I feel like it would be so cool if your interactions with the character had an impact on whether they send you mail, and we will just have to see if they leak any more about this, or if we won't know until the update. But this, I feel like, is a very cool addition to the update. Now, one of the final teasers we got about the base game update was on the 18th of April, which was saying, if you could use your royal tools in a valley visit to help out your bestie, what are you doing first? Mining for gems, catching fish, watering dried flowers, or digging random holes in their valley? Now, this is something that we kind of expected that they would flesh out multiplayer more. Obviously, when they released multiplayer back in the December 5th update, it needed a lot of work. It really didn't have much you could do with people visiting. Obviously, they'd come to your Scrooge store, they could look around, they could kind of collect some basic things off of the floor, like resources if you're sharing resources, or they could pick up sticks or things like that. They could look around, but apart from that, there wasn't much you could do with them. Like, one of the things that I really expected from multiplayer was you'd be able to do a simple thing like take a picture with them in your valley. But no, we couldn't even get out our camera or our tools. Now, this seems very exciting. It means you have a lot more of an opportunity to be interactive with your friends who play the game and actually help each other out. Obviously, I know there is a lot of concern from people from this tweet that people are going to come in and they're going to start stealing all your resources, and they're going to dig random holes everywhere, and they're going to mine everything, and they're going to take all your resources. Don't let anyone into your valley to do this unless you trust them. Now, the only other thing from this tweet that I was questioning about, and I know a lot of other people have too, is there was no mention in here of being able to use your camera. Now, out of all of these kind of different tasks they've listed in this tweet, the only thing that I'm like mainly interested in is being able to take pictures with the people who come and visit, or the people I go and visit. Now, I have had it before where I've had people visit, or I visited them, and we've had to like awkwardly screenshot it and awkwardly kind of get in a position where it works, when I would love to be able to just take pictures with them. I think it would be so much nicer. So it is a bit interesting that that hasn't been named in this tweet. So I'm really hoping they do allow us the opportunity to take photos together. I think not being able to do dream snaps together makes sense, because if someone invited over like 4 different people and they all took a dream snap together, it would look a lot better, I think, in a lot of scenarios than it would be for people who maybe don't have the community or the friends to be able to invite over. However, I do think camera mode should definitely be a thing in multiplayer, so I'm really hoping they have added that along with these other tasks. So that is everything so far for the base game. Now, the final tweet we have at the end of this week is about the DLC update. Now, this is the first tease we have had about the second act of the DLC, which is confirmed to be coming this spring. Now, before we look at the tweet, there is obviously the roadmap that we got at the end of last year during the showcase, where they kind of announced the DLC, they kind of announced all the updates that were coming in the first half of this year. We've obviously already had the December 5th update with Jack Skellington and the DLC launch, and we had the one earlier this year, which was obviously the Monsters Inc. update, which I have to say is one of my favourite updates they've ever done. Obviously, the one on December 5th, there was so much to do, so it was super exciting, because we had a base game update, we had loads of changes, we had multiplayer, we had the DLC, which is obviously packed full of everything. However, I do feel like the one earlier this year really, really impressed me, because as much as I'm not a huge Monsters Inc. fan, don't get me wrong, I love the film, but out of all the characters to come to the game, it's not my kind of thing. Like, I knew the furniture we would get and the kind of friendship rewards wouldn't be quite down my street. However, I was incredibly impressed with that update. I think it is the best update they've done. Obviously, our next update is for Daisy Duck. We know this, Daisy is coming. She's not coming in a realm as far as we know. She is just kind of coming to the game somehow. So I'm assuming it's going to be some sort of quest to do with Donald or Mickey and friends figuring out how to get Daisy. So going into next week, we will have to see what more hints we get. We don't know if it's dropping next week. However, on the roadmap, there has been some speculation by people of, is the DLC update going to drop on the same day as the base game update? Now, I personally don't see why it wouldn't be. In the roadmap, Act 2 of the DLC is completely attached to this base game update, same as how the one on December 5th was completely linked. It was on the exact same day, they updated the game on the exact same day. I don't see why this would be any different. I don't know why there's so much speculation on what date it's going to be on. To me, it's very obvious. The game will update on the same day. There's no point in them doing an update one day and then a week later doing the DLC update. They might have to, for like reasons of things aren't finished or they need to flesh some things out, obviously, but I think the aim would be to do it on the same day, give everyone both things on the same day, similar to how we did on December 5th for the original launch. So my prediction is either on Wednesday the 24th or the following Wednesday, we are going to be getting the base game and the DLC update. So our first hint towards the DLC is very, very exciting. Now, something that's been of massive speculation again about the DLC is who the lucky villager is. There's been so many theories flying around of who this villager is, who is coming in this second act, as we know we are definitely getting at least one character, and they have been described as a lucky villager. I've seen different ideas floating around. I think the main ones I've seen has been Figment, Oswald, and Genie. Now, me personally, I've always stuck to my theory of Genie. I just think it makes sense for what the DLC is. We're literally trying to get rid of Jafar, who is the villain of Aladdin. We've got the Cave of Wonders, we've got the castle, we've got so much to do with Aladdin. I just feel like Genie would have made so much sense. My second one option after Genie was Oswald, and then my third was Figment. I just didn't feel like Figment made sense really, but Genie was the one I was really hoping for. But we did get a tweet on the 19th of April saying, looks like a rift in time has had an effect on dialogue in-game and our profile picture. Stay tuned for more news on this soon. Now, the profile picture for the official account and their other social medias has changed to black and white. And as you can see from this picture, the dialogue box at the bottom of the screen is not its usual font. It has become a very retro, very old school dialogue box that you would have seen in a lot of silent movies back in the early days of Disney. A lot of these early animations had this kind of dialogue box and this kind of grey black and white tone to it, and so this just feels like a confirmation that we are getting Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Now, if you don't know the lore of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, basically it was Walt Disney's first kind of character design, and it was basically Mickey before it was Mickey, if that makes any sense. Now, a lot of people thought it was going to be Oswald because obviously he is known as Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, so a lucky villager just makes sense for him. Plus, Gameloft has another game called Disney Speedstorm, which has recently had Oswald added into the game, so they knew it was like Oswald was on their radar, so it kind of made sense to add him into Dreamlight Valley as well to kind of commemorate Walt Disney and the kind of Disney world he had created. I do love this kind of really simple change of the dialogue box. I feel like this is going to be really cool to play with, and I would love to see if my kind of main hope is that we get a part in this Act 2 where everything goes black and white and we kind of have to fix it and bring colour back. I think that would be so cool. I think it'd be a really nice element to the game. But yeah, this is essentially pretty much confirmation that Oswald is coming. So all the people who predicted Oswald, you were correct. So that is everything we have learned so far in terms of update 10. This by my recording, this is everything we have. So if something else comes out after this video, I'm sorry. I've done it as up to date as I possibly can, but I wanted to kind of get a weekly wrap up done just in case the update is coming next week. As I said before at the start, I am going to be doing a video of how to prepare for the update. I do these before all the different updates and people seem to find them really, really helpful, so there will be one coming in the next couple days just in case the update does drop on Wednesday. I'll have it out before then for you guys so you can be ready, and yeah, just be prepared in case it does happen this Wednesday. We don't actually know yet, and usually DDLV don't really tweet out on the weekend or kind of post spoilers and stuff on the weekend, so we may have to wait till Monday to hear more from them, but I might be wrong. But I will be posting all updates over on my TikTok, so if you don't follow that, the link is in the description. When the updates do come out, I do just post them on TikTok just to kind of keep people up to date and kind of have a track of what is going on, so do follow over there if you haven't already. Let me know down below if you guys are excited for the update. I very much am. I'm super excited to see more about the Star Pass, see what premium shop items are coming, see what other changes are being made that we haven't heard about, and definitely to get some more teasers about the DLC. I feel like we've been kind of deprived of DLC teasers, and I really want to know what's coming in Act 2 because Act 1 was so good and really did impress me that I feel like Act 2 is also going to be really, really good. Make sure you like and subscribe and let me know down below what you want to see next. I promise builds are coming back. I just want to kind of put these out before the update drops, and then when the update drops and we get new furniture and new items, trust me, there'll be a lot of builds coming. So if there's anything in particular you want to see, let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good week. Bye.